Hi, welcome to another video. It is December, as you can see by the tree behind me. I'm getting ready to read my first book of this 24-hour reading challenge. I'm absolutely loving doing these. I don't know if it's something that I'm going to do every single month in 2026. I've really been evaluating that. I still want to do some kind of reading vlog once every single month. I think I want to kind of change them up a little bit too, instead of just them always being 24-hour reading challenges. I have some Christmas decorating to do. I'm going to get my nails done today. The first book we're going to be reading is The Mistletoe Kisser by Lucy Score. You know it, a Blue Moon book. When I started 2025 and I started this channel, I didn't have very many book series that I was trying to read. Since then, my list has grown. I think I have 16 to 17 unfinished book series that all of them were started in 2025. Some of my goal in 2026 is going to be trying to complete some of these series that I've started. Naturally, when you guys are watching this, it will already be January. Christmas will already be over. So let me know down in the comments how your Christmas went, some of your Christmas traditions, and what kind of Christmassy style, festive books did you guys read in December? Curious minds want to know, and who knows, maybe it's something I'll add to my list that I can read in December in 2026. This one is smaller than the other books have been. We'll have to see how it goes. I feel like all three books that I have chosen to read in this challenge are all smaller in pages, so there is a possibility that I might be able to sneak in a fourth book. I don't know. It seems I've done enough of these challenges this year to know that usually my 24-hour limit is close to around 3 books. This will complete the series. There is another book out there that I didn't read that's part of the series. I just wasn't interested in it, to be honest. So to some people, it might not seem like, I completed the series. It's a book that goes back into time, and it talks about the love story between John Pierce and Phoebe, which is the first 3 books are about the Pierce brothers. So this story, which is a book that comes before this one, is all about their parents and how they met, and knowing their story, knowing things the way that I know. I don't want to say anything in case you haven't read any of the Blue Moon series. I really am just not interested in reading that book, and I feel like because it's more like a prequel book, it's not a book that's necessary to read in order to understand the things going on in other books. I also do want to add that things are super crazy right now. My daughter and my husband were out driving, and somebody was lighting a cigarette and dinkering off on their phone and wasn't paying attention, and they hit my daughter and my husband straight on. Luckily, everybody was okay. Nobody was hurt, and that is the most important thing. However, our truck was totaled. It was our only vehicle. And so now, we're lucky in the sense that my husband he works close to home, so he's just been riding a bike to work. Hopefully, it's kind of a crazy time right now, and I'm stressed out. We learned our lesson. We should have made sure that we had renter's vehicle insurance put on our insurance in case of situations like this. So if you're watching this and you do not have that on your car insurance, do it. We've never been in an accident before. We've never had a vehicle totaled. We've never had to worry about this. So genuinely, we didn't think about its importance, but we do now. Now that my husband's having to hoof it on a bicycle and I'm having to run everywhere to go shopping. Anyways, it's kind of random, but I just wanted to put that out there that this vlog might be a bit crazy and all over the place, and I do apologize for that. I'm literally, we're flying by the seat of our pants, and sometimes I might have plans for things that might get changed because of other circumstances. By the time you guys are seeing this, hopefully by the time you guys are seeing this, everything will be resolved and we'll have a vehicle. But if you guys have noticed that my videos have been a little inconsistent on uploads and things like that, this is the reason why. I'm having hard times finding time to sit down and edit and film and take care of everything that else needs to be taken care of and walk everywhere I need to walk to get things. Without further ado, well, let's get into this vlog, shall we? I'm gonna have a lot to do today, so look at that beautiful beef stew that I got cooking in our slow cooker. That's gonna be so yummy. Okay, the MMC's last name is Shufflebottom. I hate it. I hated my middle name as a kid, and I would always get made fun of when people heard it, but at least it wasn't Shuffle Bottom. Okay, I'm not even 50 pages into the book yet, and honestly, you guys, I am not liking Ryan at all. That's the MMC of this book, and I just want to smack him and send him away. I didn't feel very drawn to Davis either. I feel like with this guy, not only do I not feel drawn to him, I don't feel connected to him, but I also am right now hating him. He is a spoiled, rotten boho. But anyways, back to reading. I am now suddenly having some suspicions that Ryan's trip here to Blue Moon was planned by the Beautification Bureau. Oh no. And I thought they couldn't be topped after what they did last time. Oh no, oh no, oh no. What have they done? What have they... Remember several vlogs ago when I said that I wanted to be a part of the Beautification Bureau? Suddenly I'm not so sure. They keep this type of stuff up, they're gonna end up in jail. I don't know how deep they're into the things that have happened to Ryan so far. He walked in somewhere, saw one of the Beautification Bureau ladies, and she smiled at him. Which, okay, necessarily not anything to worry about, but this is the Beautification Bureau we're talking about. And the circumstances behind why he's there is kind of, at first I wasn't thinking much of it until the smile. Okay, there's something fishy about the Beautification Bureau, okay? Because how did they know that he was from Seattle, that he lived in a condo, and he had concrete countertops? Okay, they're not being very subtle. Slight twist in the story. I wonder if the Beautification Bureau realizes their mistake as well. Or if it was this mistake at all for them. Uh-oh. It's December. It's close to Christmas. We lost our truck. And things are just stressful. And I'm feeling a bit bah humbug. And then now I'm not really happy with my nails. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? It's times like these when you just read your book and you get out of your own head and you get out of your own world and out of your own problems. And instead you yell at other people and their problems. You just yell at fictional characters and their problems, okay? So let's go do that. I'm halfway into this book and I am still not liking the MMC. He's driving me nuts. Okay, do not mind the hair. I have been letting it, it's still slightly damp. I've been letting it air dry. I don't like to, my hair is so thin. I don't like to use blow dryers because my hair, anyways, I am a little over halfway done with the book. I'm starting to understand Ryan a little bit better. I think the book made a connection that Ryan is like the male equivalent to Joey from the third book, Last Second Chance. Now that they've made that distinction, I can really see it. And I feel like that helped me see Ryan as a little bit more of a relatable character, and I'm also learning a little bit more about him as an individual too. And there's points that he makes, he's more of a realist, and he makes points that honestly I can understand where he's coming from. I can see the compatibility between Ryan and Sammy because she's a giant romantic and he's a more realistic type, and I see that those two could easily come together and balance each other out beautifully, just like me and my husband, right? I'm the more emotional one. I'm the one that cries at Bambi and every movie and book, everything imaginable, and my husband, he's a little bit more reserved. He actually kind of reminds me of Ryan in a way, which is hilarious because I've been saying how much I don't like Ryan. The parts about Ryan that I do like do remind me of my husband. He is very stoic and very factual and to the point, and so where I'm over emotional, he's a little under emotional, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's actually a good way because we balance each other out. I help him be more emotional and he helps me be a little less emotional, to think through my emotions, and we kind of just work with each other, and so we're like this perfect balance. And that's Sammy and Ryan. They're like this perfect balance for each other. And like I said, as the book goes, I'm starting to understand Ryan more, and then that is making him a little bit more relatable and making me like him a little bit more. Do I love him? No. Again, the things that I do like about him are probably 98% because they do remind me of my husband, whom I love very, very much. I've noticed that in Lucy Score's Blue Moon series, it seems that every single guy in every single book has to have some kind of a nickname for the girl. Okay, I get it. A nickname for every single girl in every single book. I think that's a little much, but I see that she's kind of making it like a book tradition throughout all of the series. But yeah, guys, his nickname for Sammy is Sparkle. Sparkle, yeah, I hate it. Nope, doesn't do it for me. It's like every single time he calls her Sparkle, I cringe. I think I got about like 21 and a half hours left of my timer, and I'm over halfway done. And so it's time to get back into reading. I put on my festive PJs. Christmas is only 12 days away, and that's like less than 2 weeks. It's coming fast. So I am going to take some time to read before we get into the week of Christmas, because the week of Christmas is like super busy for me, even though we don't have any family here. All I have to say is Huckleberry Cullen and Deputy Layla need a story. Come on, Lucy Score. You will never watch this video. Give us a Layla story, because, you know, the Beautification Bureau is so devious in their exploits that every time something happens to the town, I always have this thought in the back of my head that's like, did that really accidentally happen? Or did you make it happen to try to get certain events with certain people to happen certain ways as part of your whole matchmaking thing? But at the same time, would the blue moon really freak out the entire town? Or is a whole town a part of it? And if they are, man, everybody's really good actors. I'm just saying. Okay, I picked the next book that I'm going to read. I honestly had thought about making this a 24-hour reading challenge Christmas edition and reading all Christmas books, but let's be honest here, you guys are going to be watching this video in January when Christmas is long over. So if I plan on doing these 24-hour reading challenges more often, I think I'm going to have to reevaluate the books that I read. Like, you know, if I want to read them in November, then I need to make them Christmas books in November so that you guys are, so that my holidays match up with the challenges better. I mean, again, this is just my first year and I'm learning things as I go. Anyways, seeing as how it will be January by the time you guys see this video, this is the next book I picked, Riftborne. This is on my 10 before the end list, and so I really want to read this, really want to get this in there, and I do believe it was also on my December TBR as well. We're gonna get into this one, and I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I have 17 hours and 50 something minutes, so practically 18 hours left on my timer, which is really good for the start of book 2. I love it when books have maps. Does anybody else in the middle of reading a book stop and go and look at the map so they can kind of visually see where the main character is at any given point in the book? I do all the time. Can you tell he's my buddy?
Hi, Kiki. Oh, he's all purring.
Yeah, he is.
Do you mean to keep the video playing?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, in comes the dog.
So my Packers were creamed by the Broncos. Now I'm gonna try to get the first chapter done in Riftborne. I did read it was kind of like not a chapter 1 or even a prologue. It's just titled Official Decree. I kind of liked it because it kind of gives a little bit of a history of the world that you're getting ready to go into. So when I get into chapter 1, I'm not lost or trying to figure out how things work. I kind of get a history of things. And now I'm on to chapter 1. All right, got through the first chapter, and it's already setting up to the big bad event that they talk about on the back of the exempt here, lining it all up for the beginning of the story. Not really much has happened. You're meeting the characters, learning a little bit about their backstory. The book is so good so far. I'm about halfway through with it, and I have just been reading and reading and reading and not stopping. It's so good. I would say probably the first 5 or 6 chapters of the book, I was finding myself a tad bit bored. I feel like it was a little slow in the beginning, but sometimes books are just like that, especially when it's going to be a series. I think sometimes when you know that the books are going to be a series, you really work hard in the first part of the first book in the series to kind of just do a lot of building of the world, building of the characters, right? So you can understand better everything going on around you, so that when events happen, it makes more sense. I am loving the dynamic between Fia and Lark. I'm seriously loving the two of them together. And you guys, I'm almost done. I'm almost done with it. Oh, it's so good. It's such a good story. The tension between Fia and Lark. Yes, I'm here for it. There's this part where he's all like, you're like all caveman, you're mine, no other man can touch you. I'm just like, yes, I'm here for it. Second book, I am picking up immediately. You know it, it's gonna happen. Seriously, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to go into reading the next book on my list after this one, because and like something's gonna happen. Something serious is gonna happen. Obviously, I know that it's the first book in a trilogy, as you could probably tell by the fact that I haven't vlogged much. I haven't talked much. First off, there's not much to say about this book without giving a ton of spoilers. Let's be honest, even if I could give spoilers, I wouldn't want to. I genuinely believe that this is a book that everybody should go into not knowing anything. Like, go in completely blind, don't research it, don't look up facts, don't watch spoiler videos. Seriously, you guys, go in as blind as you possibly can, because that is like the best thing that I think could have happened for me in this book. If you haven't read this book, read it. If you're thinking about reading it, add it to the top of your list. I mean, this is a banger book to end out the year of 2025. I am so pumped right now. Like, my blood's racing. I'm just like, there's this part that just happened in the book and I'm going, my windows are fogged. But no, seriously guys, such a good book. So amazing. I haven't even finished it yet. I've got maybe 100 pages left. This book is so good. How many times can I say that in this video? I don't know. This book is so good. 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 You want to come in here and say it too? Anybody else want to say it to the video? Quickly say, this is a good book.
This is a good book.
Yes, how about you?
This is a good book.
This is a good book, people. If you haven't read it, you got to read it. Tell them to read it. Tell them to read it.
Read it.
Read it.
Read it.
You heard us all right here, right now. Okay. Go read it. I finished Riftborne, and I have to say, I don't think I've ever read a book that had me going from cloud 10 to what the heck so fast. Still a really good book, but I'm starting to think after the way this one ended that we're gonna kind of have an ACOTAR feel to it. There's some other books that I could mention as well, but I feel like if I mention all of those, people who've read all those books will start getting the connection, and that could be a spoiler, and I don't want to give that. It's definitely given me ACOTAR feels. Not in the sense that the story is like ACOTAR, but there was a certain thing that happened in ACOTAR that I believe is going to be the case with this one and another book that I read this month. Both turning out to be that way, and I'm going, I don't know about this. I'll just have to read book 2 and see how the story unfolds. I mean, obviously I was a little annoyed at the beginning with ACOTAR as well, but it ended up being so perfect and so amazing and one of my all-time favorite series. Just because I feel like this is going down the same path doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. It just means I need to get into book 2, read book 2. Also, on that note, I've started so many book series in 2026 that I haven't finished yet, and I feel like my brain's leaking out of my ears a little bit. I am literally on so many cliffhangers. It sucks because I'm afraid of heights. I'm just saying. So now we're gonna shift gears. I have 10 hours and some odd minutes left on my timer. So we're gonna get into another book. This is The Snow Bride by Debbie Macomber. Got this on Amazon, but you can tell it came from like a used bookstore. It had a tag and everything up here, which is kind of neat. It is a one-shot book. It's not part of a series. So I can just get into this knowing that it's going to have a happily ever after. And it's not a super thick book, so I don't think it's going to take me long to get through it all. And it's just going to be a good time. I've gotten through chapter 1 and already this book is different than The Exempt made it sound. I'm a bit curious. I will tell you that The Exempt made it sound very much like that she was moving to Alaska to get married, and she meets a guy on a plane and they hit it off. He knows the person that she was going to marry and decides that this guy's a douche and he's not going to let this girl ruin her life, so he kidnaps her and takes her to a cabin. That doesn't seem to be what's happening, at least from just the first chapter. This is starting to remind me of a book I read in November, a Thanksgiving book. I finished the book. It was really, really good. I was pleasantly surprised. It was funny, cute, sweet. As for the romance in it, that was kind of subpar, but the characters made up for it. They were very sweet characters, and I loved every single one of them. I feel like I made new friends during this book. Like I said, it was a very small book, so it did not take me long at all to read it. I'm just so used to reading really thick books that are like 700-800 pages, right? So I was just reading, and then before you know it, I was done with it. It didn't give me Christmas vibes at all. It didn't even, not even just a little bit. Like, they were in Alaska. There was a lot of snow. I think the closest thing to Christmas is at the end of the book, they played Silent Night. That's like the only reference to Christmas that was in this book at all. So if you're looking for a very Christmassy type book, then this wouldn't be the book for you. But if you're looking for like a wintry, seasonal type book, you know, something that takes place in the winter, then this would definitely work. At the beginning of the book, it didn't pan out exactly how I thought it was going to. Events did take place almost exactly as to how The Exempt talked about it. However, the way that things set up that way wasn't the way that I thought it was going to be, and I'm so glad that that was the case. How it turned out was absolutely hilarious, and I definitely had plenty of laughs in this book. Towards the end of the book, honestly, I was a little cringe. I was like, really? I don't want to be one of those people who can't believe in love at first sight. I don't know. Anyways, if you're curious, it's Snow Bride by Debbie Macomber. Also, I still have 6.5 hours on my timer, so something that very rarely happens in my 24-hour reading challenges, I'm going to read a 4th book. And I've decided that I'm going to go with FlameBorne Fury, which is book 2. I am very excited to read this book, and so we're totally going to do it because I have not been able to stop thinking about Bren since the first book, and there's a whole bunch of events and so many questions that have yet to be answered that I really want to know. I only got through the first couple chapters of the book and already so much has happened. It's unbelievable that it's only been a couple chapters. Also, a decision I think is being made on Bren and Akane, which is her dragon, and where they're going to start focusing her training and stuff, where they want to put her. But they're being so cryptic about it, so I don't know what the plan is. All I know is the decision that everybody has come across, Donovan is not happy about. He doesn't want that to be the case because apparently whatever decision that they have made is going to take her away from the academy, I guess. I'm remembering why this series is so good. Again, so much has happened and only a few chapters have went in. I am literally being set up for the craziest ride of my life and I cannot wait for it. So until we can get the money for a new vehicle, this is going to be my husband's new transportation. It is an e-scooter and I will freely admit I am slightly worried about him hurting himself with this thing. Her next big event is happening right now, and it's still so soon in the book. I am genuinely curious what is going to happen considering how early in the book things are progressing story-wise. That just means something massive is going to happen. Okay, I knew something felt fishy about a certain event that just went down, and come to find out I was right. But what followed behind that... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This book is so good. It's already beaten out book 1. Yeah. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible. I love Donovan, you guys. I absolutely love it. I am practically laughing right now because I think someone tried to set her up to get her killed, honestly. But I think that this is going to completely backfire because I think she just got some major info on the enemy bad guys, even though she doesn't realize what she just did. And whoever did this to her, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for them to be like, oh my God. Like, and she didn't even realize what's going on. She just thinks this is... Oh my gosh. It's funny, but it's also like nerve-wracking because I know, well, at least I think I know what's going on. And so it's like, it won't work. I don't know what just happened, but woo. I have a feeling something bad's gonna happen though. I swear I've read a book that was similar to this in a way. They didn't have dragon riders, but a certain event happened. They found a way to reverse said event, and I hope that's not gonna be the case here, because if it is, I'm gonna be very disappointed. The end of the series, there will be a happily ever after for them. It just might destroy me in the meantime. I am just right at about 4 hours left on my timer. I'm about 33% complete with the book. So far, it has been so amazing. There hasn't been any lulls in this story. I think from like page 1 all the way to where I'm at right now, it's just a continuous go. There's something always happening. When I stop and I think about everything that's happened in the book so far, I'm just completely amazed by just all the stuff that's went on. Book 1 was more of a focus on Bren becoming a Fury Knight. You know, it focused on her and her dragon. It focused on her trials. It focused on this whole world building scenario. And I feel like book 2 now is seeming to focus more on just character development and relationship development between Bren and everybody around her, which I think is nice. Again, I'm not even halfway through, so that could obviously change. This could just be the focus on like the first half of the book. Okay, it's currently bath time for my son, so we're doing that right now. I'm over halfway done with the book. And so far, so good. Honestly, we've got a whole bunch of sudden fact dump that's going on. This kind of got me going a little, let's say what? I mean, it's just like, this is the middle of book 2. And it's like suddenly the book wants us to understand that there is all of these kingdoms, all of these different worlds, all of these different leaders, warmongering and stuff going on. And it just seems like a huge information dump. so late in the book. The other thing is I've only got 2 hours left on my timer and I'm only 52% into the book. Genuinely do not think I'm going to be able to finish it because I think I started with a little over 6, maybe 7 hours and I'm only halfway through. So sometimes I'm a slow reader. Sometimes I can read fast and sometimes I can read slow, but I will be back with you guys when my 2 hours are up and I will give you guys a byplay of at least to my thoughts on the book from where I had stopped. At this point, I don't even know what to think. I am super irritated right now. The author goes through all of this work to get Bryn and Donovan to a certain point just to implode all of it. All I'm saying is if the author doesn't fix this before the end of the book, I am just mad enough that I don't think I'm gonna read book 3. That's how mad I am. And I'm disappointed too because I feel like book 1 was so high on my list. Like it was my top book of the year and book 2 is just flatlining at this point. It was great in the beginning. It was doing great. Things were progressing. Yeah, I feel like there wasn't much world building or anything else going on. It was just mainly relationship building, but okay, I get that, right? They didn't do a ton of that in book 1. So, okay, we need to get a little bit of that in there. That's completely understandable. But now this, I'm so mad right now. But here I go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together. Okay? We're gonna do it together. You guys are with me. We're gonna do it, y'all. Oh my gosh. I had to message my husband and tell him my grievances and annoyances with the book because I had to talk about it with somebody. And he's like, it's okay, it's all gonna work out. She's gonna kill his dragon and all the other dragons and all the other people, and then it's just gonna be her and the dragon ruling the world with nobody else around. Thanks, dear. Okay, I had to come in here. You guys, what she's been through. Please, if you guys really need to check your trigger warnings before you read this book because it gets really graphic. And it gets really graphic. She finally tells her story throughout the book 1 and most of book 2. You kind of get hints, you get ideas of some of the things that she's been through. But let's just put it this way, it's not her telling somebody what's going on, it's her reliving it. So it's like you're back in time and you're reliving it. And what happened to you guys was really bad. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. All I can say is there are people out there that just need to get eaten by dragons. The worst vile evilness that you can think of. I can understand now why in the beginning of the book she wanted to throw herself off a cliff. I understand why she didn't want to live it. I can't express this enough. Do not read this book until you have checked the trigger warnings. They are very bad. And it's very descriptive. And if you have a hard time, I'm having a hard time. And I read the trigger warnings. I knew it was coming. And I haven't experienced what she's experienced. This book will definitely be very hard for some people to read. I got through that rough patch. So let's try to finish this book and go from there, because I can't leave it right there. I need to get through it. So let's do this together. I'm definitely gonna need a light, fluffy, funny, kick your feet up romance book after I'm done with this, because Oh, the emotional roller coaster I'm on right now. I finished the book last night right before bed with a little over 13 minutes left on my 24-hour timer. I'm actually impressed. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I guess it's just what happens when you get involved in a book and you're not thinking about time whatsoever. And it was a really, really good book. I know I got angry and was like hating on the book there for a little bit. But honestly, I think in some ways I'm just very protective of Donovan, and what Bryn did just made me mad, but the author did in fact fix it. I'm just a little overprotective of Donovan, that's all. And I felt bad for him because he's done nothing but be amazing. But now that I know more of Bryn's story, more of what went on, like, I can understand it and I can accept it. And I do care about Bryn too. You know, I do feel bad for her too. She really has been through a lot. And considering everything she's been through, she's handling it very well, honestly. She's showing a lot of strength amongst all of her worries and her doubts. I am a little bit worried about Donovan and his mindset towards the end of the book. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little reading vlog with me, enjoying a little bit of Christmas. I hope everybody had an awesome, fantastic Christmas. It's 6 days until Christmas as I am filming right now, and I'm excited. We pretty much got everything done. It's just ready to sit back and watch Christmas movies and pig out on junk food. As you guys are watching this, it's January, so hopefully you guys reigned in your new year great and that so far everything's been going great. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.